All right, let's dive into a topic that's quietly changing everything for businesses: regulatory technology. You've probably heard it called RegTech. We're going to break down exactly how it's automating the rules and really changing the entire game when it comes to compliance.
But first, let me ask you something, especially if you've ever worked in any kind of business, big or small. Does keeping up with all the rules and regulations just feel like a never-ending high-stakes headache?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of heads nodding. You are definitely not alone. For most companies out there, the answer is a huge yes. It's a massive drain on time, money, you name it. But why? Why is it such a pain?
Well, it all comes down to what we can call the compliance bottleneck. This is the core problem, the big logjam that's been slowing businesses down for decades. And it's all because we've been doing things the old-fashioned way. And you probably know exactly what this old way feels like. We're talking about, armies of people manually tracking regulations in these giant, terrifying spreadsheets. It's a process that is just begging for human error. One wrong number, one missed update, and suddenly you've got a huge problem. It's slow, it's reactive, and man, is it expensive.
But what if there was a better way? This is where our hero, RegTech, enters the story. It's the modern solution to this very old problem. So what is this RegTech thing anyway? Put simply, it's just using technology to make compliance faster, cheaper, and a whole lot more accurate. Think of things like AI that can read and understand new rules the second they're published. It's all about turning a slow, manual process into an automated, proactive one. And when you put the two side by side, the difference is just, wow, it's night and day. On one side, you've got the old world, manual, slow, risky, basically just a giant cost center. But on the other side, with RegTech, everything is automated, it's proactive, it's secure. It actually turns compliance from something you have to do into a real strategic advantage.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what does it look like in the real world? How does it actually work? Let's break down 3 specific, game-changing innovations that are making this a reality right now. First up, one of the most practical and powerful tools out there, the auto-updating compliance checklist. Seriously, it's time to say goodbye to those spreadsheets for good. I want you to imagine a checklist that isn't just a static document. It's a living, breathing thing. It's plugged directly into regulatory databases around the world. So the moment a new rule is published or an old one is changed, bam, your checklist knows, and it updates itself in real time. Here's how that plays out. So a regulator somewhere issues a new rule. Instead of a team of lawyers spending a week trying to figure out what it all means, the RegTech system instantly gets it and applies that update to every single relevant checklist in the company. And then the right teams get an immediate notification so they can act on it today, not next month.
All right, on to our second big innovation. This one tackles one of the biggest headaches in compliance, proving you did what you were supposed to do. This is where blockchain comes in to create totally foolproof audit trails.
Now, I know the word blockchain can sound complicated, but don't worry about that. Just think of it like a shared digital notebook. Every time a required action is taken, a new entry gets made in this notebook. But here's the magic trick. Once an entry is written down, it can never be changed or deleted by anyone, ever. It's locked in. So this process builds trust automatically. An employee performs a required safety check. Instantly, a permanent, time-stamped record gets created on the blockchain. So when the auditors show up, there's no more digging through dusty file cabinets. They have instant, unchangeable, and completely verifiable proof of compliance. You just can't argue with it.
And for our third and final innovation, this one is cool because it takes compliance beyond your own company walls. We're talking about smart contracts and how they make sure your partners and suppliers are all playing by the rules too. So what's a smart contract? It's basically like a super smart vending machine for business rules. You write the terms of the deal like, if you do this, then I will do that, directly into computer code. The contract then just watches and automatically enforces the rules without any human needing to get involved. Let's make that real. Say your contract requires a vendor to submit a safety certificate before they get paid. You code that rule into the smart contract. The system constantly checks for that certificate, and the moment it's uploaded and verified, poof, the contract automatically releases the payment. No more chasing invoices, no arguments, and no risk of accidentally paying a vendor who isn't compliant. So when you start putting these innovations together,
these live checklists, these unbreakable audit trails, these self-enforcing contracts, you start to see a totally different future for compliance taking shape.
So why does all this matter? Well, it's not just about cool tech. It's about radically reducing costly human error. It's about creating real-time transparency for regulators. And maybe the best part, it frees up your smartest people from doing boring box ticking so they can focus on actual strategic work. It just makes the whole shebang faster, cheaper, and fundamentally more secure.
You see, these technologies aren't just making the old way a little better. They're creating an entirely new way of operating. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. What happens to business, to innovation, and to safety when following the rules becomes an effortless, automated process running in the background?